Hi. Okay, so our prompt is to carefully reflect on last week's discussion, and one of the questions that you posed, I really want to explore. If the body codes racism as a violent act, what does this mean for students of color and teachers, admin, staff of color in school or work? And how do people of color resist and or fight back? What I have seen specifically in East is white teachers believe that there is a system in place that all students need to adhere to. And then if that system isn't being followed, then those students are outside of the norm and need to be punished. For example, what has happened often is if students are out in the hall and a teacher approaches them, get to class, where are you going? What are you doing? Their students of color are disproportionately being asked this question. Their reaction then is a resistance, is an act of resistance, is a way to be fighting back against this, what I believe to be a microaggression, because that teacher isn't asking the white kid that's running down the hall, they're asking a student that they believe to be out of class. That is majority of the time a student of color. And when I say student of color, I'm including all students who are not white, because at East we have two sides, as it were. You have the neighborhood that is predominantly higher ECS and white, and then you have the neighborhood that feeds into East that is predominantly a wide range of demographics but a lower socioeconomic status. And those are the students that tend to be asked, where are you going? What is happening? Why aren't you in class? And an act of resistance, a way to say, no, what you're doing is not okay, for a student who does not have the full recognition of what is happening to them as an act of or microaggression, then they get to say, F you, or run away, or simply not go to the class where they feel like they're being attacked. So it's a way of resisting an entire stream of actions that are forced upon that student, that white teacher has no idea of what they're doing. However, once that white teacher is being called out on their actions, as you're only talking to students of color, you're only talking to or thinking about in your classroom your white higher SES students, when they're called out on those actions, it is met with hostility. It's met with then this coded language of their safety. So I think then, as a white teacher, I need to continue addressing those instances, those microaggressions, and which then build to an entire macroaggression, I would say. And because the short-term impact is going to be that student feeling like they're being called out, they're being targeted, and then that teacher thinking that that child doesn't care about their education. The long-term impact then is that student doesn't feel like they have a place in the school, and that teacher then continues to perpetuate their bias upon their students. So I think, again, I would argue what I have continued to argue, looking at Bettina Love's work on abolitionist teaching, is to be a co-conspirator, to call out these aggressions, to educate other white teachers on their actions, and then to hold my students to a higher standard, a higher expectation, and give them the skills necessary to navigate that. So really acting as that co-conspirator. Okay, I'm at 5 minutes and I'm not going to go to 10 again.